The big story this week, or one of the big stories this week, YouTube has once again changed how views work, which is, I think, a bad move. Their reasoning, so effectively what they did is that a while ago, they changed the way that shorts views work, so that as soon as a short starts playing, it counts as a view. The reason they said they did this was because that's how all the other platforms do it, because all the other platforms want to inflate their success in comparison to YouTube. Now, YouTube is like, okay, well, now our mainline videos, our long form videos, as they're put, even if they're only 4 minutes, needs to adapt to the way that everybody else is doing it. So now, just like shorts, the second a single frame a video plays, including autoplay, is counted as a view. This is going to mess everything up for a while. There's going to be a calibration period.
We've kind of been through this already, like you said, with shorts. And I liked, at least when they did it with shorts, they basically admitted everyone else is inflating them. Me too.
Yeah.
Like, I want to also do this. And while I didn't like it at that point, it did kind of make sense with the other platforms, although they're admitting this. I feel like a lot of big tech companies don't like to admit there is other competition. Like Apple famously never likes to talk about anyone else. And I feel like it's the power move to just pretend you are you.
Yeah.
So by admitting all that, it kind of feels like we're a little scared, and they should have been scared in shorts. Doing it here is this, because they're still doing this thing where it's only public view count.
Yeah.
Engaged views is still the thing that all of the creators still care about. And now it's hidden in YouTube Studio.
Yeah, so traditional views, which require a certain amount of seconds of playback, are now called engaged views. And that's what you're going to be paid based on. That's where all of the metrics come from when you're trying to become part of the YouTube Partner Program, which we didn't mention last week, but they actually doubled the amount of hours that you need to have to get into the Partner Program.
That was its own roller coaster of both of these news things. I think you have written down here that the new requirements are 10 million short views in 90 days, or 8,000 qualified watch hours, or 20 million qualified shorts views in 90 days is the new requirements to join the partner program.
So there's a separate shorts program as there is a long form program. Mm-hmm. The shorts program is, let's see, let me find it here. Yeah. The shorts program, if you want to be paid for shorts, is you have to get 10 million shorts views within a 90-day period, which seems like a lot. I'm just going to say. I know that shorts are they're all counted differently and whatever, but you're still just hoping that the algorithm likes you, and you're going to have to really, really, really be pumping it out. Also, by the way, shorts don't pay for that. Shorts really don't pay that much, at all. And then now, if you want to be a part of the YouTube Partner Program for the regular long-form videos, you have to have 8,000 qualified watch hours. So previously it was 4,000. It's kind of hard to get to, and 8,000 seems like a lot now. So it's going to take new creators quite a lot of time of just making things without getting any monetization before they can start getting paid, which is tough.
It is, and it's YouTube. I'm not going to sit here and try and defend YouTube that hard, but it is a way that people can make money off of making a bunch of content on a place that uploads and stores massive amounts of data. So with so many more people coming on, continually raising the requirements is something they probably have to do at a certain point.
Yeah. Because they're paying out sort of a pool of available ad revenue.
Especially in shorts.
Yeah,
that is
especially
the pool.
In shorts.
Yeah. And so bumping that was okay, this is so much harder now. This is literally twice as hard, and it was pretty hard already. Then when they did the view change, they announced this view change. People were like, oh, maybe this isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Because now views are going to be counted easier. Maybe not twice as much, but easier. But then within the blog post that they posted and Renee Ritchie's video explaining it is these requirements are based on engaged views. Yeah. So essentially based on the old version of views. So actually nothing's changed except that it is all now doubled.
This is also just going to be very confusing because the way that a lot of YouTubers get paid outside of YouTube is that they go to these brand partners and they say, here's all my metrics. You can see it publicly, but also I have YouTube Studio metrics that I can hand to you. Now, there's going to be a discrepancy between what the brand sees publicly on YouTube.com and what the creator gives to them from Creator Studio. And what the creator gives to them is going to be way lower. which I'm a little worried will make the brands kind of be like, oh, we thought that you were getting this much, but you're actually getting this much. I'm not really sure I want to work with you now.
And I think part of that is, I mean, we've joked about it a million times on the podcast, but still in influencer marketing and brands and everyone feels like they just really don't understand the landscape of engagement. I mean, there's impressions, there's views, there's watch hours, there's all these different things. And so many of them are subscribers. So many of them are still like, you have 5 million subscribers. I can't tell that your videos are getting 10,000 view nows because you haven't really been making a lot of content. So like they're already confusing for them. We're throwing another wrench in here now. And I do think brand deals are going to be hurt on this. Part of that might be because a lot of creators might take advantage of this off the riff. If you had to take a guess, what do you think the average view count percentage increase would be for like a standard popular video? I don't think it's going to be double, but the more you pop up on the
40 to 60%.
I would guess like 20 to 40% increase at first of like what a view count. If a person might get a million views, I would not be surprised if like a 1.4 million view publicly is what might show up, whether that's just random autoplays when you're scrolling. Like, it feels weird to me that I might be reaching for a video on the right side of my homepage and I might accidentally give 2 views out with my mouse just hovering on the way over.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of, quote, views to be put around here. And when they say this is what other people do, it's also in a weird other sense, and I'm definitely rambling here, but like Twitter and Facebook did this because they're still scrolling chronological feeds that autoplay, and they want to boost their videos so much because they want to look like
they want to
YouTube.
compete with YouTube. They want to feel competitive with YouTube.
Would you say that this is basically just an impression now? Like a view is an impression?
No.
It's not yet, because an impression still counts anytime a thumbnail's served.
Yeah.
So if I were looking at the YouTube homepage right now, there might be 10 videos. All of those get 1 impression. 3 of those now might get a view because of a hovering autoplay or just a random autoplay, because when you're like, I guess in mobile, you are still scrolling. Mobile has the best chance of giving random videos a ton of extra views.
Yeah.
But I still don't think full on impression yet. I think that number will still be higher. Because of just serving a thumbnail, and also serving a thumbnail on the right side recommended on browser. None of those are going to really autoplay, but those are all still going to be an impression.
One thing I was kind of thinking about was that generally when I get to near the end of a video, I sometimes will pause like 1 or 2 seconds before the video ends because I don't want another video to autoplay. But then occasionally I think about, well, I would like the creator to get a 100% watch rate for me, so I just let it finish. But then it just starts playing another video. And so now, like, the amount of videos that just I watch a frame of, but they have a view, is kind of going to be messed up. I don't know. I think it makes sense for YouTube to want to show their superiority by changing the way that they count views to the same way everybody else is. But they just don't need to. It feels like a reaction to competition that didn't really exist.
Yeah, I feel like it makes them seem not superior.
I totally agree.
I agree with
This
you.
feels like the scared move.
Yeah.
I think before, in the creator economy, and I'll admit, us and the people listening to us see the creator economy way different than like most average people do just looking on YouTube.
Yeah.
But like every person ever who makes content just considers a view on YouTube to be exponentially more like worth it or profitable or valuable than any other view on any other platform. I mean, like, you could possibly argue that a long form YouTube view is equal to like 1,000 TikTok views, probably even higher than that.
Yeah.
And that was in itself, like, every TikToker, every Instagram Reels person, they all want to be YouTubers because there's better money on YouTube, and that all, it's nothing to take away from them, but like, that is where the money seems to be. YouTube has figured out monetization the best.
Yeah.
Instagram hasn't even figured it out at all. So I think by now being like, oh, we're going to be about the same views, it feels like I don't know. Yeah, it feels scared. I get this whole, we want to make it easier to understand and whatever, but that feels like tech is so good at being like technically correct on things, but very clearly like this is just a play to in their eyes, have inflated view numbers, which I think is a bad thing.
It's going to be interesting to see them do their earnings call. It's part of Google, but I'm wondering if Google will go and say like, YouTube had a really great quarter. Our views went up by this, or if they're going to explain how that worked.
Yeah, like are they going to pitch to advertisers, wow, we've seen a 30% increase in views on videos, and like are they going to create their own what do we call it? Admageddon? What was the old one where like Adpocalypse? Sorry. Yeah. Are they going to create their own one where they're going to like pitch all these increased view counts, and then like all these companies are going to be like, yeah, I'm all in, and then see the same exact thing and no increase, and those companies aren't going to want to advertise as much? I don't know.
I think overall there's just going to be kind of an evening out period where creators are like, hey, look at all these views that I'm getting. And then the companies will be like, wow, that's awesome. They'll probably pay them more for a short period. But eventually that will normalize. And
one thing to clarify in here, August 24th, this launches. Any video posted after that will have the new view/engage view metric. Any video posted before that will keep its original views, and any views added on after the 24th will be the new metric. So that's going to be a little confusing with those things, but you might see like spikes in videos that have been posted beforehand. What I think is a little funny right now is YouTube, owned by Google. I mean, this is a very tech niche funny part, but just launched the Pixel. Generally, our three biggest podcasts of the year are like Samsung launch, Pixel launch, Apple launch.
Yeah.
Pixel video did great. I think it was a 1 out of 10. And then they're going to change these views, and now we're going to get the Apple thing out, and Apple's going to look like it's doubling and or tripling views because it usually does a little better already, and now it's going to get inflated views. So publicly, the iPhone is going to look so much more popular than the Pixel, at least to a waveform crowd.
That's true.
Which is kind of
I think we'll have to look back on this in like a year and see how things have changed. But overall, like I do understand like the normalization taking place, like that was going to happen eventually, just whether or not it happened when other companies caught up in some sense of the word, or now. I guess they just needed to do it now.
I get it on shorts. That was actually something they needed to like compete again, but I just really don't think anyone's competing with YouTube in long form, so it just feels like its own thing, and this just feels like a pat ourselves on the back, pat our stats kind of. It's like smurfing. It just doesn't feel real. So views are going to be weird for a little bit. I mean, for brand deals and stuff, we'll look pretty sick for a little while until they figure it all out. So it might be beneficial for us, but
that is true.
Otherwise, I just don't really get it.